When we think about what makes a strong and healthy man, our minds often jump immediately to images of bulging biceps, chiseled abs, and the ability to bench press impressive weights. We've been conditioned by decades of fitness magazines, action movies, and social media influencers to believe that physical strength equals overall health and wellness. But this narrow definition misses the profound complexity of what true masculine strength actually encompasses. Real strength in men extends far beyond the visible musculature and into territories that are often overlooked, undervalued, or simply misunderstood. The foundation of genuine male health begins not in the gym, but in the mind. Mental resilience stands as perhaps the most crucial element of masculine strength, yet it remains one of the least discussed. A truly strong man understands that emotional intelligence isn't weakness, it's sophisticated strength. The ability to recognize, process, and express emotions appropriately requires more courage than suppressing them ever could. Men who can sit with discomfort, acknowledge when they're struggling, and seek help when needed demonstrate a form of strength that no amount of weightlifting can build. This mental fortitude involves developing healthy coping mechanisms for stress, cultivating self-awareness, and building the capacity to navigate life's inevitable challenges without crumbling under pressure or lashing out at others. Connected intimately to mental health is the often neglected aspect of social connection. Human beings are inherently social creatures, and men are no exception, despite cultural narratives that promote rugged individualism and emotional isolation. Strong men build and maintain meaningful relationships with partners, children, friends, and community members. They invest time in these connections, show up authentically, and create networks of mutual support. Research consistently shows that men with strong social bonds live longer, experience less depression and anxiety, and report higher levels of life satisfaction. Loneliness, conversely, carries health risks comparable to smoking 15 cigarettes a day. The man who can be vulnerable with trusted friends, who can ask for support and offer it in return, who prioritizes relationships alongside achievements, this man possesses a strength that protects his health far more effectively than any supplement or workout routine. Sleep represents another pillar of male health that gets overshadowed by more glamorous pursuits. In our hustle culture, sleeping less is often worn as a badge of honor, proof of dedication and ambition. But chronic sleep deprivation systematically undermines every aspect of health. It disrupts hormone production, including testosterone, which affects everything from muscle mass to mood to sexual function. Poor sleep impairs cognitive function, decision-making, and emotional regulation. It weakens the immune system, increases inflammation, and elevates the risk of serious conditions including heart disease, diabetes, and obesity. A strong man recognizes that quality sleep isn't laziness, it's essential maintenance. 7 to 9 hours of consistent quality sleep provides the foundation upon which all other health efforts rest. Nutrition deserves examination beyond the simplistic calculations of protein grams and calorie counts that dominate fitness discussions. Real nutritional strength means developing a sustainable, enjoyable relationship with food that nourishes both body and mind. This involves eating a varied diet rich in whole foods, vegetables, fruits, whole grains, lean proteins, and healthy fats, while also allowing flexibility and pleasure. Strong men don't view food purely as fuel or fall into obsessive patterns of restriction and control. They eat mindfully, enjoy meals with others, and understand that occasional indulgence is part of a balanced life. They prioritize gut health, recognizing that the microbiome influences everything from immune function to mental health. They stay hydrated, moderate alcohol consumption, and view eating as an act of self-care rather than a moral battleground. Cardiovascular health often gets sidelined in male fitness culture's emphasis on strength training and muscle building. Yet the heart and circulatory system form the literal engine of life. A strong man takes care of his cardiovascular system through regular aerobic exercise, whether that's running, cycling, swimming, dancing, or brisk walking. He monitors his blood pressure and cholesterol levels. He understands that heart disease remains the leading killer of men and takes preventive measures seriously. Cardiovascular fitness improves not just physical endurance, but also brain health, mood regulation, and sexual function. It reduces inflammation throughout the body and builds resilience against countless diseases. Flexibility and mobility, meanwhile, represent forms of physical strength that often go unrecognized until their absence creates problems. A man who can move through full ranges of motion, who maintains supple joints and elastic muscles, who can bend down to play with children or pets without pain, this man possesses functional strength that enhances quality of life far more than impressive but rigid musculature. Practices like yoga, stretching routines, or mobility work prevent injuries, reduce chronic pain, and maintain independence as we age. They also provide mental benefits, encouraging mindfulness and stress reduction. Purpose and meaning constitute essential but frequently overlooked dimensions of masculine health. Strong men cultivate a sense of purpose beyond themselves. Through work that feels meaningful, through contribution to their communities, through creative expression, through mentorship, or through causes they believe in. This sense of purpose protects mental health, provides motivation during difficult times, and creates a framework for making decisions aligned with values. Men who find meaning in their lives report better health outcomes across virtually every measure. They're more likely to take care of themselves, maintain healthy habits, and persist through challenges. Regular preventive healthcare represents another form of strength that our culture sometimes frames as weakness. Strong men don't avoid doctors or ignore symptoms until problems become crises. They get regular checkups, screenings appropriate for their age, and dental care. They discuss concerns openly with healthcare providers and follow through on recommendations. This proactive approach catches potential problems early when they're most treatable and demonstrates genuine self-respect. It's not hypochondria or weakness. It's intelligent stewardship of the only body you'll ever have. The capacity for continual growth and learning marks mature masculine strength. Strong men remain curious, willing to challenge their assumptions, and open to new perspectives. They read, take classes, develop new skills, and expose themselves to different viewpoints. They can admit when they're wrong and adjust their thinking based on new information. This intellectual flexibility prevents stagnation and keeps the mind sharp as years pass. It models lifelong learning for children and younger men and keeps life engaging and dynamic. Financial health, while not directly physical, profoundly impacts overall wellness. The stress of financial instability affects sleep, relationships, mental health, and even physical health through mechanisms like elevated cortisol and blood pressure. Strong men develop financial literacy, live within their means, plan for the future, and build security for themselves and those who depend on them. This doesn't require wealth. It requires intentionality, education, and discipline. Environmental awareness about the spaces we inhabit also matters more than we typically recognize. Strong men create living and working environments that support their health. Spaces with natural light, minimal toxins, connections to nature, and room for movement and rest. They're mindful of exposure to pollution, excessive noise, and environmental stressors that accumulate and damage health over time. Finally, perhaps the most revolutionary form of masculine strength in our current cultural moment is the willingness to question and redefine masculinity itself. Strong men don't feel threatened by examining traditional gender roles or by incorporating qualities traditionally labeled feminine into their identities. They understand that traits like empathy, gentleness, nurturing, and cooperation aren't weaknesses to be purged, but strengths to be integrated. They define their own version of masculinity rather than conforming to rigid, outdated scripts that often lead to isolation, suppressed emotion, and preventable health problems. The truly strong and healthy man is multidimensional. He's physically active but not obsessed with appearance. He's mentally resilient but willing to be vulnerable. He's independent but deeply connected. He's disciplined but flexible. He's confident but humble enough to keep learning. He takes care of his body through movement, nutrition, and rest. He tends to his mental health with the same seriousness as his physical health. He builds meaningful relationships and contributes to something beyond himself. He plans for the future while remaining present in the moment. This vision of masculine strength doesn't diminish the value of physical fitness. Exercise remains crucial for health and well-being, but it places physical strength in proper context as one element of a much larger picture. The strongest man in the gym may be profoundly unhealthy if he's isolated, sleep-deprived, emotionally stunted, or living without purpose. Meanwhile, a man of average physical strength who has cultivated emotional intelligence, strong relationships, meaningful work, and healthy habits across all dimensions of life possesses a resilience and vitality that will serve him far better across the years. As we move forward, we need to expand our cultural conversation about male health beyond muscles and performance metrics. We need to normalize men seeking therapy, forming deep friendships, prioritizing sleep, and defining success by well-being rather than just achievement. We need to recognize that asking for help is strength, that caring for others enriches the caregiver, and that vulnerability creates connection rather than destroying it. The next generation of boys and young men deserves a more complete and sustainable model of what strength looks like. one that will actually support their health and happiness across a lifetime, rather than burning them out in pursuit of an impossible and ultimately hollow ideal. Real strength, it turns out, is far more interesting, more complex, and more attainable than we've been led to believe.